My first guest this evening is best known as the co-host of Entertainment Tonight. He also won many awards for his musical compositions, and his latest is Avalon. Right here, please welcome John Tesh. John!
I got myself a hotel key. I just have to try all the doors to find out which one's yours.
Thanks so much for coming. What are you? You're like 8 feet high? What are you, 7'5"?
Not too much taller than you, really, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, 6'6".
6'6", but I'm 6'4", but anything over 6'4" is getting crazy and weird, I think.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to move in any sort of rhythm when you get to be that tall.
Right.
And you pretty much, I mean, I was in the marching band when I was a kid, and it really turns, with like a trombone, and you're never going to get any...
My God, that must have been crazy looking.
It was really crazy looking, yeah.
Did you get your height really suddenly when you were one of those kids that in 5th grade was this height, and they called out the Japanese army to fire tanks at you?
Yeah, in junior high school, I grew like 4 inches. So I was 6'5", 6'6" in junior high school, and I had braces on my teeth. And
really?
But those were the braces when they were really braces, you know, with like the barbed wire stuff, not like this weenie stuff they have now.
They had like rivets and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. And when you if you play an instrument or something with them, you end up bleeding, you know, and you can't kiss girls because they end up with.
So you were 8 feet high with rivets on your face,
right, and
blood coming out your mouth.
Right. Yeah.
That's a high school yearbook photo I must see.
Plus, you know, at Halloween, all I really had to do was paint a couple of bolts right here.
Well, let's talk about. I want to talk about your concerts. I want to talk about what kind of people are showing up at your concerts. What are your concert fans like?
We have like 8-year-olds and we have 80-year-olds.
And no one in between. It's just. And they fight. That old man hit me. I did not. Yes, you did.
So when I look out in the audience from the piano, I see basically lollipops and wheelchairs, and that's it.
That's the whole thing.
Oh, yeah. We get all kinds of different people. You know, it's instrumental music, largely. So there are, you know, it's people use it for many different.
Now, when you say instrumental, does this mean you're doing a kind of a quiet show?
No, it's a pretty big show.
Do you ever use any special effects or anything?
Yeah, we actually have a light show that the lighting crew said is like as big as Lollapalooza, which gives you some idea of it. So it's a big light show, a lot of smoke.
Intentionally?
Yes.
Just, okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's not the light that
No, when people start lighting up right in the middle of the show, and you get that special smell and all that, you know. That's the 80-year-olds.
Yeah, they're roasting hot dogs. That's what you were talking about.
Well, you know, one of the things we try to do with the band is we try and do stuff that's really like a lot of movement, you know. And during like one of the last numbers, we'll actually get out because we have wireless instruments. We'll get out into the audience and sort of, you know, jam out there, you know, and at that point,
you're unrestrained. They don't have to have chords anymore.
Right. So I got this like red portable. These guys know what it is. Like a red portable keyboard, like a remote, like a little MIDI keyboard, so you can go anywhere you want. The other guys are, the violinist is wireless and all that. But I think we were in Iowa, I think, and I was, you know, what we try to do is go up into the balcony so that we can give those guys a show up there. And so I'm running as fast as I can through the audience. And I go through the doors that I think are going up to the balcony.
And you're playing the whole time?
Trying to, yeah. And I end up running outside. And so here I am on the street. The door closes behind me, one of those big iron doors. And so here I am at 6'6" with a plastic red keyboard standing in the street of Iowa. Right? And so I can't get back in.
And there's a concert going on inside.
Exactly.
And you're still playing.
Yeah. Well, trying to.
That'd be so great if you were being mugged out there, and you're still trying to go, still trying to fight them off and play at the same time, you know.
Actually, what I ultimately had to do was go around to the front door, because they couldn't get me in the back door. And where I had gone, I thought I wanted to do that. So I go around to the front door, and the ticket taker's like, you know, who is the doofus with the red keyboard? Because, you know, he only goes to see Squirrel Nut Zippers. He didn't really pay to come see me. And so I went back in, and it's like, ta-da! You know, here I am again. So
it all worked out.
Night.
Now you have
just the image of you running, like, and
playing too.
Plus, you got to know that the keyboard on me, on a normal person, it would look like a keyboard. On me, it looks sort of like this. So almost doing this. You know?
It's a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Hello, my fans. Well, speaking of your fans, you have, there's a group of people, and we want you to talk about this, because it's very strange. There's a group of people that are angry with you for some reason, and they're after you. So tell us about these people.
Well, they mostly, we have our own website, as I'm sure you do. Ours aptly named Tesh.com. Very clever.
And your groupies, or your fans are known as, they have a nickname, right?
Tesh heads, yes. Yeah. And I'm not really sure what that means, but,
Is there ever confusion between you and Joe Pesci's fans at all?
Right. I didn't come up with
the Tesh heads, as they're known.
But we get we do get some angry people on there, and there are actually some interesting sites. There's an anti-Tesh Action Society.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. These are people that are angry with you.
Oh, very angry.
And what are they angry about?
Well, they say that I'm annoying and that and one of the posts that came on our website was that I suck worse than Kenny G and Michael Bolton combined.
Wow. Yeah. Good Lord, that's not physically possible. I've done the math. I had the numbers crunched on that one. It's off the register.
There's another guy that wrote that he wished Satan would swallow me whole.
And there's also a group that believes that you are an alien.
Right. Right. So I pretty much have got it all. I mean, I've waited.
Have you ever encountered these people physically? I mean, you've actually seen them?
Yeah, in Detroit, they actually showed up at a concert and picketed, and they had these placards. and this is a true story.
What do the signs say?
Well, it actually doesn't say anything. It just says it's a big sign, and there's a picture of me, like from Entertainment Tonight. Then there's an equal sign, and then there's an alien. And then there's just. And they chant, John Tesh is an alien.
So did you go out and...
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many times you get picketed? I was like the Vietnam War all of a sudden.
Right.
So I go out there, and I'm like hanging with the guys, or trying to, and they panic and start running.
And you're like, no, come back! I mean you no harm. I want to be your friend. That's terrible. That shouldn't happen.
The government should find a way to harness that pointless energy.
Yeah. Use it for some kind of good. Yeah.
It makes me feel very lethargic.
Yeah.
I should be out picketing something.
So we have a really good time on the road. I mean, we have lots to talk about, basically.
Yeah. No, it sounds like it too. I want to talk to you about a side of your music I don't think people are aware of. I didn't know that you're the guy that wrote the theme for the NBA. That was news to me. I think that's a very catchy theme. And I was curious, I know that when you came up with the idea for the theme to the NBA, you weren't near an instrument, and you had to make do. Tell us what happened.
Yeah, it was about 6 years ago when I was in Europe, and I knew that NBC wanted a theme for their basketball coverage, and so I had this idea in the middle of the night, and I called my answering machine. You know, when you have a good idea, you call your answering machine, and you wake up in the morning, it's like, it's crap. Well...
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
Yes.
So I call from England, and I go on my answering machine, this is a message from me about a great idea for a theme.
Why are you trying to seduce your answering machine? I was wondering if maybe you and I could get together later on.
Wouldn't you recognize your own voice?
Hi, John. I think you're great, and pay no attention to that alien crap.
So you call in your answering machine, and what do? You don't have an instrument.
No. So I went. In this particular case, I went.
You do that in. I wish the alien people had walked in at that moment and seen you doing that into a phone. I knew it. You're calling the mothership.
Right.
I wish we had more time, because there's always so much to talk about. There's so much more to explore here. The new CD is called Avalon, and it is always fun when you come by. We hope you come again real soon.
Thanks, I'd love to.
And jam with the Zappas again sometime.
That was great fun.
Yeah, we've had many requests for more of that. Thank you very much, John Tesh. We'll take a break. We'll be right back with Triumph.